They need to move. They need to come back home.
They need to come. And where is that?
Come,
Africa?
nah, come back to your mama. Your mama is a black woman.
They
All the
don't claim
Asian
that.
ladies.
They don't claim that.
All the Asian ladies, come back home. Your mama's black. All the Hispanic people, come back home. Your mama is black.
And it's not, I don't ever see like, well, I kind of get what you're saying. It's like, no, you're wrong. And this is why you're wrong. And I'm right. And listen to me and just think how I think and everything will be okay. Even though that's not how things work.
What you referring to? Which comments you referring to?
Just how they feel like we're racist. And we've already talked about how black people can't be racist, which I tend to hear what you say on that. But you still can be. But we don't have any power. And we don't have a history of enslaving a group of people. So when I go ahead,
Brandon, we discussed this in the deeper thing. To keep systematic racism going, you got to deflect at all costs
and deny.
Like I said, Skip cannot apologize. He didn't done. See,
he didn't do nothing wrong.
Me and you was raised in this stuff. Every black person in America was raised in it. If you just sit back and look what's going on, you'll see the scam.
But do you think we should move that way too? And just, if you do something wrong, don't even admit to it. Don't even apologize. Get on code like they are on code with how they feel and how they move.
Brandon, I've been wanting to say this for a while.
Go ahead.
Black people is the only people in the world that can save the world. Right now, the Anglo-Saxons are killing each other in Europe.
Okay. Right
now, the Anglo-Saxons are polluting and stealing all the resources and everything in America. In Asian, right now, the Chinese people are causing what you call it when the world heats up.
Oh, global warming.
Look, they burning coal. They trying to take Taiwan and watch this. Ain't America take Taiwan in the 1900s? They bought it for $3 million. How can you buy people, Brandon? How can you buy a country? But
they've done that in the past, so
and you see over there in South America right now, they're killing each other over selling drugs to Americans. The only people that can save the world, if you take a black person, you can't have them around black people because they gonna fight each other. If the black people, we the only people can save the world, Brandon.
So do we need to move over in these different continents to help them?
No, they need to move. They need to come back home.
They need to come. And where is that? Africa?
Nah, come back to your mama. Your mama is a black woman. All the Asian ladies.
They don't claim that.
All the Asian ladies, come back home. Your mama's black. All the Hispanic people, come back home. Your mama is black. All the Middle Easters, come back home. Jump over Egypt because you're already claiming that. That's a damn lie. Come back home. Your mama is black.
But when they say we're one species, we're all the same. I mean, that's ultimately what we're saying too at the same time. But they're not going to see what you're saying right here. Like we all come from the same thing, and it is black, whether the people want to believe that or not. But it's just something to think about. But like back to like what you're saying, like we are tearing the world up, and it's because we want things to be faster and quicker, and we want better technology and all, and we want to show people we got diamonds, so we're mining the earth, and we got to burn gas, so we got to mine more gas, and we're tearing the planet up. And go ahead.
If you don't put no control on the Asian people, they'll fish all the fish out the damn water, Brandon. And people, you may think I'm saying something racist, but if you read reports, they would get all the tuna out the water.
But last time I went fishing, I was talking to a guy. He was talking about how we're overfishing. I was like, yeah, we're definitely overfishing the ocean. But if you on the bridge fishing or you on the surf fishing, you can't keep a fish that's a certain size. Do you think when they overfishing, they're throwing the fish that are too small back in the water? No, they're keeping everything they get. So it's definitely wiping out certain species of fish. And like you say, with lobster, they say lobster's disappearing, is jacking the price up. You cannot keep doing what we're doing to this planet, or it's not gonna last. You tearing up the coral reef and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, here's a cold hard fact for people listening. What you got? A lot of people in the world in poverty, right, Brandon? No water, correct. No nothing. If you gave every person $100 to buy something, the world would explode. So if everybody had the luxury of Americans, this world cannot exist.
You're right. And I guess that's a good way of looking at it. Like you can't. Can you have a balance where everybody's on the same level? I know you said
it's too late, Brandon. We eat meat every damn day.
Right. And like I say, when I do the health slide or whatever, we gotta stop consuming meat so much because just think about how many hamburgers were made today, how many steaks were made today, or just in an hour that people consume. Like if you go to a grocery store in your town, like how much pounds of meat is in there, and how many cows have been killed because we want to have hamburgers, we want to have steaks, we want to have milk. You can't produce milk unless a cow is pregnant. So how many cows have been forced to be pregnant? And it's just a lot going on.
And for you to eat a hamburger, 5 people had to starve to death.
Right. But you gotta feed the cow, which you could have been feeding a person, with all this grain. And it's just depleting the resources we have on this planet for the greed of us. We want to have the best steak, or we want to eat steak all day, or want to have a Baconator. It's got 3 patties. It's got 12 pieces of meat on, 12 pieces of bacon on it. So we got to think about things long term, not just short term.
And if you do not believe me, because people don't study history, China started to turn around in the 90s. So when China started to turn around and build a middle class, people got more cars, burning more electricity. And you see how quick the heat skyrocket? Global war. That's your example right there.
Right.
If China was still a scumbag, well, okay. If China was still a scumbag, we won't have so much global warming going on.
But like you say, they want tech cities, and we want all this stuff to be instant. We want 5G, and then soon we're going to want a faster connection than that. All this stuff is heating up. And like I say, the winters are going to be colder and the summers are going to be hotter. And, it's just not good. And every year it gets worse. So you can ignore it. You can ignore it, but,
California had a drought for 3 years. For the past several months, it rained a couple of times out the whole California messing up.
Right,
they got too much water.
Got floods.
Make it make sense.
Right.
Make it make sense.
Right.
From one extreme to the other. South Carolina, earlier this month, Brandon, 72 degrees one day. The next day it was 30.
Right.
Then back to 60, a tornado watch come up on y'all. Tornado watch.
Right,
and we in the wintertime talking about tornado.
Right. Same thing here in Georgia. Like one day it had to be like 65 degrees. I was like, damn, we're gonna have a lot of business today because it's warm. People could be out. Next day it was like 28 degrees. So this stuff is not normal. It's something is off. But if we keep trying to ignore it and keep focusing on other stuff, and we're gonna have a serious problem on our hands. But I trust, I guess we should just trust the government. They're going to be handling it. They got our best interests at heart. I